Shaquille O'Neal is best known as one of the world's greatest NBA basketball stars. The giant of a man, however, is not only great at basketball, but also is a champion when it comes to business. You'll be surprised to know that some of your favorite brands are probably owned by Shaquille O'Neal, but of course it makes sense for most people to recognize his famous face from his time in the NBA. In this video, we'll talk about the former NBA player's many accomplishments and what makes him great. First up, we have Papa John's. Shaquille O'Neal is also a prominent investor in the famous pizza rolling franchise. Papa John's. His endorsement deals have helped many businesses get in the game, particularly Papa John's, which serves the Shakaroni pizza. This limited edition pizza was part of the NBA star's endorsement deal, and he personally came up with the name for it. His new 3-year agreement with Papa John's is worth more than $11 million in cash, which is a jump from his first agreement with Papa John's, which stood at $4.1 million. This is a significant indicator of how valuable O'Neal's influence is for brands like Papa John, who recognizes his respect for their brand values and core beliefs. Moving on to number 2, we have Authentic Brands Group. You may not know it, but Authentic Brands Group is behind one of the major international brands such as Forever 21, Barney's, New York, JCPenney, and Reebok. The incredible retail group also enjoys Shaquille O'Neal's financial influence. The former athlete is the second biggest individual shareholder of the powerhouse group. Who would have thought an NBA star would make such a significant investment? ABG CEO Jamie Salter describes his relationship with O'Neal as kind of a marriage where you took leaps of faith for one another. Now, after 6 years of that business partnership, it appears those bets have proven to be fruitful. O'Neal says that what drew him to the ABG was their values. They prioritized family values, fun, and getting jobs done, which aligned with O'Neal's playful personality, prompting him to get involved. Coming up at number 3, Big Chicken. O'Neal's Big Chicken and its brand concept revolved around the NBA star's brilliant life, his passionate interest in marketing, and the brand brings out the best in Big Chicken. The chain started in 2018, and now thanks to its timeless success, it is all set to open in 45 locations across Florida. What makes Big Chicken a unique culinary experience is its restaurant menu is lined with O'Neal's childhood favorites with a spin of modern flavor. Shaq's Big Chicken uses uniquely crafted food to give insight to the former athlete, remarkable life, and best loved food. Big Chicken has 200 franchises in development at the moment. That's a lot of success garnered by one person, and that's just the beginning of how much O'Neal has genuinely achieved, followed by the 4th name on the list, Cineplex 12. Yes, you heard that right. The NBA player doesn't want people to think that he abandoned Newark after the neighborhoods and helped raise him, and the church-going mothers uplifted him throughout his childhood. So it would only make sense to give back to the place that made him. His vision for the theater was that it would be a world-class experience for the residents of that area, a theater that they would feel proud of watching movies at. With such noble intent, it is only natural that Shaquille O'Neal is as famous as he is. On number 5, the license rights to Marilyn Monroe. Who buys dead people? Apparently O'Neal does. The NBA player owns the licensing rights to literally one of the most iconic celebrities in the world, Marilyn Monroe. Once you hold the licensing rights to a deceased public figure, you have the power to earn money off their usage in commercials and markets. Shaquille O'Neal owns the rights and thus holds the right to use Marilyn Monroe's likeness in marketing. Followed by number 6, the licensing rights to Elvis Presley. The glittering heartthrob of rock and roll, Elvis Presley was no small name in the musical world, but after his death, the NBA player Shaquille O'Neal bought the licensing rights of the singer. Now the licensing and merchandising side of things lies with the ABG group, of which O'Neal is a prime shareholder. Taking a look at number 7, we have the General. The NBA star's reputation of success in the business world means many companies approach him with endorsements, and while he turns down most of them, he couldn't turn down the auto insurance company, the General. Therefore, his streak of endorsements and investments are not limited only to culinary ventures. Instead, they reach beyond to things like cars. On number 8 comes Auntie Anne's Pretzels. The former athlete partnered with V&J Foods to land a deal on Auntie Anne's Pretzels. He did this to open and run several units of the chains because it was always been one of his favorite foods. This is a pattern in his investment and always gets him favorable results. Auntie Anne already runs 750 pretzel shops all over the US and 200 more internationally across the waters. The worldwide sales total of this beloved pretzel chain amounts to several $100 million each year, making it a lucrative business to invest in. Then on number 9, we have Krispy Kreme. So far, Shaquille O'Neal proudly owns multiple franchises of Krispy Kreme donuts, the beloved donut shop. He grew up being a big Krispy Kreme fan like most of us, but now he actually owns the business himself. The NBA player specifically also owns the famous Atlanta franchise, which was the first ever for Krispy Kreme to be open. Standing for 60 years, this historic shop belongs to Shaquille O'Neal. He not only owns multiple franchises, but also happens to be the global sponsor for the famous donut shop, so we can easily say he does the dream job of millions by talking globally about how great Krispy Kreme is. Sounds like a dream job, doesn't it? Moving on to where it all began. Shaquille O'Neal owns a whopping 50 businesses in total. That's way more than any amateur could ever manage to acquire because O'Neal is best at his game. For him, this is a peanut. He tells the story of how it all started for him being in business meetings that was a tough because most of the time the people he'd meet would only conversate with his lawyers and accountants that gave him a clear message. You don't know the business. The experience was so transforming for him that he decided to go back to school. Soon, the famous basketball player enrolled for a master's degree. Such was his conviction to learn that when the university didn't have enough students to give him an in-person class, he paid for 15 of his friends to earn master's degrees alongside him. If this doesn't show his iron will to succeed, we don't know what will. Before anybody could predict it, Shaquille O'Neal was on his way to becoming one of the most successful businessmen. Some would say he's a natural talent for it, but we know it took a lot of hard work to reach where he is now. Coming up next, O'Neal's big investments. It might seem odd to invest in two rival companies, but not to Shaquille O'Neal. He's a shareholder in both Apple and Google, though he regretted not buying more shares when he had the chance. No matter what O'Neal puts his mind to, he gets it running successfully, and in doing so, he's become quite the millionaire. Followed by O'Neal rejects Starbucks. Shaq has always been a successful athlete, but he carefully calculates and thinks before investing in companies and franchises that earn him big money. His risks are calculated, but when news broke out on why he was rejecting investing in Starbucks, the answer will catch you by surprise. He didn't invest not because of the state of the market or the predictions already made for the company's stock, but because he simply doesn't drink coffee. Yeah, that's right. He doesn't drink coffee, and that's what makes it less enticing to invest. O'Neal's jovial, childlike personality perfectly hints at why he would do such a thing, and it also might explain why his other investments in food chains and car washes, he invests in what he believes in. His investments also come from the things he enjoys the most, which is the most powerful driving factor for anything, we'd say. If you don't like a particular product, you're less likely to put in the passion to market it most convincingly. That's why O'Neal has been nothing but successful in all of his business deals to date. He, however, admits that he regrets this decision greatly because Starbucks is immensely popular. Finally, what makes his investment strategy so successful? With around 50 brands under his belt, O'Neal is quite the investor, but what makes his strategy so successful? O'Neal says he looks to Bezos as inspiration. He explains that Bezos invests in companies according to how these companies change the lives of the people they cater to. Once he started implementing that strategy and looking at the impact of the companies on people's lives, he had quadruply increased his income before he knew it. And that's a wrap for this video, my friends. What do you think about O'Neal's investments? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.